Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Anthony Hill, and this is Top in the Morning. Glad you can spend part of your morning with me. Today's top stories, the latest on the Boston bombing investigation. What our surviving suspect is saying about their plan. Also, wildfires in California and a shooting at a Texas airport. We'll have more in-depth look at your top stories in just a moment. But first, a quick look at your weather outside with meteorologist Molly Matat. How are you doing this morning, Molly?
I'm doing good. How are you, Anthony?
You look good in your pajamas over there.
I
Look
do
at
not
Molly.
look good in my pajamas over there. You know what? I'm rocking the robe for now. Definitely a
Right.
comfortable Friday today. I think we should make this a tradition.
I think so.
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Sweatpants and robe,
Right.
without a doubt.
Right.
But hey, we're having some pretty nice weather lately, right?
I can't complain.
A lot
Is it
of
going to
sun.
stay though? That's what they want to
I think it is
know.
going to stay, definitely. And actually, as we take a look at your current conditions right now to get you out the door, we are sitting at a lovely 60 degrees right now, and the sky is already starting to clear up. I actually thought it was going to be cloudy for most of the day, and then it was going to clear up, but we're actually already looking at some sunny skies. Definitely a great day shaping us for us today. As we look at it, cloudy start, but we're going to clear up, and we're going to top out at 68. Now, that's a little bit cooler than, say, Syracuse, which is going to have highs in the low 70s. Buffalo's actually going to have highs in the upper 70s, but we're going to stay at a comfortable 68 because of that nice lake breeze off of Lake Ontario. As we look at your preview of your 3-day outlook from Storm Team 10, today's 68, we are shaping up for sun, and more sun. May Day is looking like a great day. I'll have a further look at your forecast with our Storm Team 10 5-day outlook. But right now, I'm going to send it back to Anthony at the desk. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing good, Molly, and I'm even better because of your weather forecast. Thank you so much. All right, thank you guys on the set for joining me. Let's get to this. Jason Collins. If you didn't know his name before, you definitely know his name as of this week because he did something that was considered so brave and monumental. The 7-foot-tall NBA player was the first pro athlete to come out of the closet mid-career, unheard of. I'm learning to embrace the puzzle that is me. Collins wrote that in the latest edition of Sports Illustrated. Now, he has received a lot of support from athletes, and of course some knuckleheads chimed in too, but a lot of support from athletes commending him for his brave decision. Even President Obama called Collins to congratulate him. With Collins coming out, it ushers in many questions, right? Like, is it becoming socially acceptable to be gay in the locker room, masculine-driven world of pro athletics? Here with me this morning live to talk more about this is anchor of Oswego Sports Update, Blaze Hill, right here, and anchor of The Playing Field, Matt Stone. Thank you guys again for waking up this morning and coming on with me. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good. Doing well.
Good. So this is monumental because he's the first to do this mid-career. Obviously, other athletes who have been in football and basketball, they've come out before, but they've waited after their career. You know, they didn't want to jeopardize their career. Do you think that he's jeopardizing his career by doing this? What do you think?
Well, Collins has been around the NBA for 12, 13 years. He's a 12-year veteran, so he's kind of near the end of his career anyway. So I think this really was an ideal guy and really the ideal time, not really in the middle of his career and not a marquee player. I don't know if the NBA might be ready for that, to have a superstar come out like this, but Collins he seems like the perfect fit, and he really couldn't come out at a better time. Really transcending sports. We've never seen anything like this.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it'll affect his career too much. Certainly as a mid-30s player in free agency, he might not be on a roster anyway next year. I think because of his height.
Right.
We were talking about this. I think we'll see him on a roster at some point sooner rather than later.
And it kind of, him coming out, it kind of goes against what we think being gay is, right? Especially in this hyper-masculine oriented world where you have to be very masculine and rough, and this is a very masculine dude. And does this kind of him challenging what we think about gay people in sports, will that change people's discourse in this country?
Well, no, that's a great point. I mean, this is a guy that's battled in the post with the
Right.
likes of Shaquille O'Neal. When you think of a gay man, most of the time the image that comes to you is not a 7-foot guy who weighs over 200 pounds and is really built physically. So you're absolutely right in that
Right.
point.
And Anthony, I think the great part about this is that, how courageous Collins was in doing this. And I think, not overnight, we're not going to see dozens of people start to, publicly out themselves.
Right.
But I think as time goes on, slowly, one by one, we'll see more and more gay athletes in professional sports, not just in basketball, but I think across the spectrum of American sports.
So essentially, this is a harbinger of what's to come. It's becoming more acceptable in locker rooms.
It'll be a very slow process because the amount of courage that it takes. Because, I mean, any article you read on it, look no further than the comment section as to why this is a courageous move and why people are still afraid to publicly announce themselves as gay in American pro athletics.
Thanks so much, Blaze Hill, Matt Stone, part of WTOP Sports, by the way. All right, Ted Winkworth has a pretty big job on campus. He's the alcohol and other drugs program coordinator out of Mary Walker Center. It's not on the prompter. He's particularly known for his cool and laid-back demeanor. Well, this summer, he's quitting his job with his motorcycle in hopes of completing a transcontinental trip.
Every once in a while I get this pang of like, what the hell are you doing? I feel like the life experience I've had up until now has prepared me for this. Where I'm going is kind of unknown at this point, so I'm gonna take my bicycle. I've always wanted to do like a really, really long bicycle trip, so my buddy Mike and I are going on a 10-day, 700-mile bicycle trip to Chicago, starting the day after graduation. At that point, I ship my bike to Seattle because I have a friend there that wants to ride it. I take the train home, I hop on my motorcycle, and then I kind of set out. Sometime around October, when the weather gets too cold for motorcycle riding, I'm gonna make my way through Mexico and into Central America. All of it on a motorcycle.
When did you realize that you wanted to do this trip?
Honestly, this is really weird. I was sitting right there when I must have been 21 years old. I was done with college. I had no idea what the hell I wanted to do with my life. And I was laying here just kind of looking at the stars and talking to this girl. And I was like, you know, someday I'd really like to just go on like a long motorcycle trip or something. I think that would be really cool. I didn't own a motorcycle. I didn't have a license. It was, you know, just stuff that came out of my mouth. And she goes, I've got a book for you. And she went up to her room and she grabbed me a copy of this book, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. And it introduced me to a whole new world of thinking about life. And I want to write my own Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Is it going to sell as much as that book? Absolutely not. Might it get picked up by a couple people that get impacted and say, holy crap, this changes the way I look at the world? I hope so. I'll miss the students and I'll miss the people that I work with, and I'll miss, you can't beat this, but I've got something next that I've got to do.
All right, 37 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a quick commercial break. But first, take a look at what happened on this very day in history. You're watching Top in the Morning.
Hi, I'm Al Roker, class of '76, Oswego State University. You're watching WTOP, Channel 10. We didn't have this when I was in school. We just had radio and smoke signals.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Is our meteorologist.
How are you doing today, Anthony?
I'm pretty good. I'm happy it's Friday, but pretty busy today.
I was enjoying pajama day, but I couldn't stick with the robe for too much longer.
I noticed a little wardrobe change.
I changed a little bit. You know, we're mixing it up here on Friday mornings.
Right.
We're doing big things.
So how's the weather looking at?
Weather's actually right now looking very good for today. As we take a look at your current conditions, we're actually sitting at 60 right now, and the sky is already pretty clear. I was expecting a couple clouds to stick through into the morning and even into the afternoon, but already we're seeing clear skies with a couple of passing high clouds. But other than that, Winds out of the southeast rather, at 12 miles per hour and gusts up to 17 miles per hour. So definitely something to watch as you head through your day today. Taking a look at the temperatures around the state, our hot spot at Buffalo at 59. You guys are shaping up for a very warm day today. The rest of the area of New York is also shaping up for a great day. 56 in Syracuse and Watertown. Our cold spot of 49 at Plattsburgh. 52 in Glens Falls and Albany, and 53 down in Poughkeepsie and New York City. Your top weather headlines for today: sun, sun, and more sun. That has definitely been the weather headline for the past couple of days. There is some rain off to the west. We'll definitely take a look as to if that will affect our area anytime soon. And will the sun stay? That seems to be the question on everyone else's mind. But right now, national radar showing this rain off to our west. There's a line of rain, and then there's a line of snow and freezing mixed rain. Now that has already dumped a very substantial amount of snow on the Midwest, but which is pretty unseasonable for the beginning of May. I mean, we're already in spring rather, but that is actually just going to continue north, and we shouldn't really see any of that as we look at our regional radar. Pretty boring, nothing really to speak of throughout the day today, and that is because of this lovely high pressure system that's anchored right on our coast, and that's going to stick around and give us some beautiful sunny skies all day today. A cloudy start, but definitely clearing. We're going to top out at 68, not 70 like we saw yesterday because of that lake breeze off of Lake Ontario. Some winds out of the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour today. Planning out your day for you, we're starting at 58. A little bit chilly this morning. We're going to warm up to 63 by noon, and then by 5 o'clock rather, we're at 68, and we are shaping up for a great night. Tonight, mostly clear. We're going to bottom out at 43 with winds out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, the start of your weekend, Saturday is looking great. Sunday with a high of 60. A little bit chilly this weekend. A little bit cooler than we've normally been seeing. Your Storm Team 10 5-day forecast for today: sun, sun, and nothing but sun. May Day is shaping up to be a great day, a little bit cooler at 58, but we're going to warm right back up as we continue into next week with highs in the mid-60s.
Thanks, Molly. 42 minutes after the hour. So the surviving Boston Marathon bombing suspect says they originally had a different target in mind. Jason Carroll has the details on that and other developments in the investigation.
A U.S. law enforcement official tells CNN the Tsarnaev brothers initially considered a suicide attack during the 4th of July celebrations, when Boston's Charles River Esplanade is typically packed with spectators for an open-air concert and fireworks. All of this, according to Jahar Tsarnaev, who told investigators they moved up the date to the Boston Marathon because the bombs were ready sooner than expected. Tsarnaev says built in the very home his older brother Tamerlan shared with his wife and child. Late Thursday, a van believed to be carrying Tamerlan's body transferred it to a funeral home outside Boston. All this as investigators continue to focus on his widow, Catherine Russell. Yet it is unclear what, if anything, Russell may have known or suspected. Russell's attorney says she continues to cooperate with authorities. And authorities also have more questions for Jahar Tsarnaev's 3 friends from the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth, now facing charges of obstructing justice and lying to authorities, one of whom led authorities to Tsarnaev's laptop, which could provide more clues. And as the investigation continues, so too does the recovery for victims, like Mark Fucarell, who lost a leg in the bombing, the other leg shattered, his arms riddled with shrapnel.
I was scared because of the dark, because I thought I was dead. I thought it was over.
Fucarell says he draws strength every day from a photo of his 5-year-old son.
So every time they stuck me with another needle, or they cut me, or they put something or did something, when the ripping changed and bends, I was looking at that picture. That's what got me through it.
Crews who are battling a fast-moving wildfire in Southern California will receive no relief this morning as heavy winds are expected to grow the size of one blaze in particular. Thousands of acres have already been scorched. Winds will potentially reach 35 miles per hour later on today, as that's going to help, right? Several neighborhoods in the area have been evacuated. A man is dead after a shooting at a Houston airport. Officials say it happened near a ticket counter at Bush International Airport. Witnesses say the man fired into the ceiling. A Homeland Security Investigations agent told the man to drop his weapon. The agent fired once at the suspect, who appeared to try to shoot himself. At the same time, an autopsy will determine whose bullet killed the man. The man has not been identified. No one else was hurt, by the way. The FAA says flights arriving to the airport were delayed for about an hour as a result of that shooting. All right, the Wall Street is getting ready to open not too long from now, 9:30, right? Marissa Sarbeck covers business for us. Marissa, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, thank you, Anthony. All right. Momentum appears to have ground to a halt in U.S. labor markets as a payroll tax hike and widespread government spending cutbacks have taken their toll on hiring. Predictions for the April jobs report out Friday reveal a pessimistic forecast of 145,000 jobs added last month. That's up from 88,000 in March, but not nearly enough to make a dent in the stubbornly high unemployment rate. Economists predict the rate will remain at 7.6%, and analysts have blamed a 2% increase in the payroll tax in January, which will slash the average American paycheck by about $800 this year, as well as across-the-board spending cuts in government spending, known as sequestration, for scaling back consumer demand and consequently the need for hiring. And actually, those predictions came in, or the correct answers came in, and the unemployment rate has dropped to 7.5%, and 165,000 new jobs were just added. That just came in. All right, and it's common for college students to change their major a few times during their time in college, but the current economic climate and frail labor market is forcing recent grads to reevaluate their major and career choice. According to a recent survey by Bellevue University, 47% of those surveyed said the economy has caused them to reevaluate their careers, and 26% reported that there are too few opportunities in their current line of work. Those students would like to switch to a growing field. One thing to keep in mind while looking at getting a secondary education is to identify your personal career and education goals. Another thing to remember is to take the time that you will remember the time it will take you to complete the degree, as well as the financial means in which you can complete it. You should also find out what program fits in your schedule. And lastly, make sure to frequently reevaluate your goals. You never know when you might change your mind about a career path. All right. The U.S. Treasury expects to pay off $35 billion of the debt in the third fiscal quarter, compared to an earlier projection given in February that would have had to borrow $103 billion, the government said Monday. This will be the first quarter that the Treasury has paid off debt since April, May, and June of 2007. In a statement, the Treasury said that it had changed projection related to higher receipts and lower outlays. For the fourth fiscal quarter, which begins in July, the government expects to borrow $223 billion. This assumes quarter-end cash balances of $75 billion on June 30th and $80 billion on September 30th. And that's it for your financial news. Now back to Anthony.
All right. Thank you so much, Marissa. And again, breaking news, 165,000 jobs were created this month, and unemployment is down at 7.5%. 48 minutes after the hour, coming up after the break, we'll have John Mangello with your latest entertainment news and another look at your forecast, of course, with Molly Matat in her nice pajamas. Stay tuned. You're watching WTOP 10 Top in the Morning. Good Friday to you.
Hi, I'm Al Roker, class of '76, Oswego State University. You're watching WTOP, Channel 10. We didn't have this when I was in school. We just had radio and smoke signals.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
9 minutes after the hour, almost 9 o'clock. Molly, you have a friend.
I have my pillow pet here
Yikes.
because in honor of Pajama Day, I decided to bring my pillow pet because you never know when you're going to have to sneak in a quick nap throughout the day.
Right.
Naps are important. Get enough
So
sleep.
if you've learned anything from Top in the Morning Friday edition, it's to always carry.
Always come prepared for a nap.
Right.
Never know. So, weather today, definitely shaping up to be a great day. Right now, we're sitting at 60 degrees with already clear skies. The clouds are starting to part their ways. We have a couple high clouds in the sky, but nothing really too substantial blocking the sun for our day today. Winds out of the southeast, though, at 12 miles an hour right now, and gusts up to 17. So that's going to create some mixing and maybe some cooler temperatures. As we look at today, though, cloudy start early this morning, but definitely already starting to clear up. We have a high of 68, not as high as 75 anticipated in Syracuse because of that lake breeze off of Lake Ontario. As we plan out your day temperature-wise, at 8 a.m. we're starting in the 50s. It was actually a pretty chilly morning. As we warm up to 11 a.m., you can see Rochester and Buffalo Western area is starting to warm up a little more, but we are going to stay into the 50s into the afternoon. As we warm up to 2 p.m., we're starting to break into the 60s, and maybe by 5 o'clock we could reach that 70 mark, but I don't think we're going to quite get there for today. Tonight's going to shape up to be a really great night. Mostly clear, bottom out at only 43 tonight. As we start your weekend for tomorrow, Saturday's looking like a sunny day with a high at 60. Now, as we look at the national radar, we're keeping an eye on this system that's producing a lot of snow in the Midwest, which is pretty unseasonable for May. It just dumped a lot of snow into the Midwest. There's some rain showers definitely persisting in Illinois. But as we move into the weekend, we can see that this high pressure system around our area is really going to hold off all these showers from moving into our area. We're looking for definitely a great weekend and into next week. Your Storm Team 10 5-day forecast, nothing really but sun. Cooler this weekend. May Day is shaping up to be highs in the upper 50s, maybe a little bit warmer. But as we continue into next week, we get back into highs into the mid 60s.
Wow, all I see is sun. That was beautiful right there, Molly. Good job. And now we'll have your entertainment news with John Mangello, who looks spectacular this morning. Look at him.
Yeah, I don't know whose this is. I thought it was Molly's, then she said it's not. So thank you to whoever owns this delicious zebra print robe.
Fabulous.
Yes. So, all right. Well, let's get this going, shall we? Steven Spielberg, the man who brought us classic films like E.T., Saving Private Ryan, and last year's Lincoln, has announced his next project, and it sounds pretty awesome. The Academy Award-winning director will team up with one of Hollywood's hottest young stars, Bradley Cooper, in the film titled American Sniper. The film was a biographical film about Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, who has the most sniper kills in United States military history at a confirmed 160. Now, unfortunately, Kyle was killed in action in Iraq this past February, and that's why they're making this film about him. Filming is scheduled to begin this fall. Now, children of the 90s may be able to tell you that Jump by Criss Cross is their favorite song ever, and those same people were sad to learn that one of the two members of the rap group, Chris Kelly, whose stage name was Mac Daddy, was found dead in his Atlanta home Tuesday morning. Police originally suspected he died from an overdose of heroin and cocaine, and after initial autopsy reports, that suspicion has been confirmed. The drug combination has a street name of Speedball and is the same combination of substances that killed celebrities Chris Farley, John Belushi, and River Phoenix. Mac Daddy was 34 years old. All right, everyone, it's the last morning newscast of the semester, which is incredibly depressing in itself, but we always have fun here, and that won't stop today. I mean, come on, we're all wearing pajamas. I'm wearing a bathrobe. But seriously, yes, the fun continues this summer because there are a lot of great movies coming out. The release of Iron Man 3 today officially kicks off the summer movie season, and I'm going to be giving you the top 5 movies you should be looking forward to this summer. So I'm going to start with this one since it's coming out next week. Yeah, we dedicated a whole segment to it a few weeks back. I don't know if you remember. The Great Gatsby, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, and Carey Mulligan. It is a modern remake of the classic novel of the same name, directed by Baz Luhrmann, who brought us Moulin Rouge. The film debuts next Friday, May 10th, in 3D everywhere. Number 4 is my pick for funniest movie of the year, This Is the End. A film in which James Franco, Jonah Hill, Craig Robinson, Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, Danny McBride, Michael Cera, and all their friends star as fictional versions of themselves in the aftermath of a global apocalypse. And from the trailers, I understand that they wake up from a night of partying and then just find out that everything is gone and dead. I cannot wait for that. This one opens June 12th. Keeping it going at number 3, the superhero reboots from summers past keep on as Man of Steel comes in at number 3 by Zack Snyder, who also directed 300. This is his latest take on the superhero origin story, with Henry Cavill as Clark Kent/Superman, and a supporting cast that includes Amy Adams, Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, and Michael Shannon. Christopher Nolan is the executive producer, and I know what you're thinking. Didn't he make the Batman movies? Yep, yes he did, which means it's going to be awesome. This one opens June 14th. And do I even need to explain number 2 here? Monsters University. James P. Sullivan, Mike Wazowski, and others share their college stories in the prequel to the original Monsters, Inc. Trust me, go see it. What else do I need to say? It opens on 3D on June 21st. And finally, my number 1 movie this summer, Elysium. In a future where the wealthy have abandoned Earth to the poor, one man, Matt Damon, tries to break to the idyllic spaceship called Elysium, where the upper class now lives. Directed by Neil Blomkamp, who also directed the near-perfect District 9, this movie is going to be fantastic. And if it turns out to be awful, crying myself to sleep seems like a good remedy for that depression. So those are the movies I think are going to be the top 5 of the year. So I'm going to propose over to you guys. You saw my top 5 list. So what other movies, those or others that you know are coming out, are you most excited for?
I am ridiculously excited for Monsters University. And actually, if you go and Google Monsters University, they have an entire webpage that looks just like Oswego's webpage, like a complete university.
Great.
You can sign up for courses like Scaring
you can
101.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
What happens if you were to click on one of those links?
I'm assuming you would be inducted into Monsters University.
It's like the best, it's the best
I'm
marketing
assuming.
campaign ever.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Also, other movies, The Hangover Part 3 is coming out on Memorial Day.
I'm not sure I'm going to see that, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, The Hangover, the first one was really good, but then the second one was kind of just a repeat. So I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know. I feel like sometimes they just try and drag it out just to make more money, and I really don't know if there's anything.
Apparently it's the last one, but who knows?
They have to bring new
say that
stuff
all
to the
the time
table.
now.
Definitely.
Yeah, they do.
Sandra
They do.
Bullock is coming out with a movie called The Heat. It's going to be hilarious.
Is that with Melissa McCarthy?
Yes, it is. Melissa
I am
McCarthy and her.
I think they are going to be like the new comedic duo.
It looks hilarious, and if you ever want to see Sandra Bullock just go all really ghetto and, and urban, watch the trailer.
I
because
want
That
to
should be
see that.
interesting, yeah.
It's going to be
want to
hilarious.
see
I
that.
definitely want to see that.
Anthony, what about you? What are you looking forward to? Anything?
How about Iron Man
Moment
3?
of silence. Thank you.
Iron Man 3.
Moment of silence for me.
Moment of silence.
Yeah. Iron Man 3.
That never
yes.
happens, Anthony.
Yeah, it doesn't, right?
It's out now. Go see it. I'm going to
Yeah.
go see it today.
Actually, you know what else I'm
Are you
excited
really?
for is the Man of Steel movie
Yes.
because the last Superman movie was such a bust
It was,
that
it was just so
I'm
boring.
ready for redemption.
All right, how about The Gatsby? I want to see The Great Gatsby
Yes.
so
I know
bad.
where I'll be
I'm
next
excited
week.
about
I
that.
am.
Actually,
I
they
really
just
wanna see it.
released a 1920s remix of Crazy in Love because you mentioned before a couple weeks ago that Jay-Z was doing the
Yes,
soundtrack
he
for the
is.
film.
Yes, he is.
It's an awesome just horns and very jazzy and it's very 1920s, but it's Beyonce's hit Crazy in Love. So it's
Right.
kind of like his
Wow.
ode to his woman, but
I
it's
need
so
to check that out.
it is absolutely phenomenal.
Gotta check that out. And Anthony, let me just say, you know, I appreciate you wearing pajamas, but I thought that you slept in your suit because you always look so classy. So I'm
Aw.
happy to know that you don't sleep
Right,
in your suit.
right.
and you
Only-
have other clothes.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you. Weather?
Weather, yes.
How's that looking?
Let's take one last quick look at that beautiful 5-day forecast. Nothing but sun. I mean, that's been the question lately is the sun going to stick around? And as of right now, it's going to stick around for a pretty long time. Definitely connect with us online, though, for your weather updates and your other updates at Twitter at WTOP10, Facebook.com/WTOP10TV. And if you have a cool weather photo or you want to talk to us about weather, shoot us an email at meteorology@WTOP10.com. Definitely send us those weather pictures, those sunset pictures. Those are always great. Sunrise pictures if you're up that early. I was actually up pretty early this morning to come here and the sun was already up, so.
You know what was
Nice.
the best part of this morning is that I got to walk here in my pajamas. People
Absolutely.
did stare at me, but it's fine because there's
Talking
only like
about
3
pajamas, I'm jealous because you guys got to. I'm gonna stand up. I know
people. Oh
the
yeah.
people in the
Let's
control room are
go
gonna.
ahead.
If you can get me.
Everybody stand
These are
up.
my
Go ahead,
pajama
John.
pants
You
right
gotta
here.
see John's.
John's,
this.
wait, just so we're
Might as
clear,
well.
this has like a train. Like this is almost like a bridal gown.
I don't know who's
Like
this.
Turn up
drag
modeling.
queens.
It's my friends. I'm letting
Do a
you.
spin. Go ahead. Do a spin.
Borrow
There you
it.
go.
I got the mic on, so I can't spin, but
It's very nice. The mandals are a nice touch. You can't see them, but
you
they
can't
are.
see
Can
them.
you
I
put
didn't
your
even
feet out?
shave today because I don't shave when I'm sleeping.
Go ahead, John.
Thank you
show us.
so much
What
for
did you call
tuning in.
them?
This is Top and Morning while they still have a conversation. Have a great weekend and a great summer. We'll see you next year, maybe. Some of us. I won't.
I will.
Bye, everybody.
That's a depressing end.
That is kind of depressing.